Well, the old Miata is getting closer and closer every day. Doing a lot of body work on the back here. This area was really wavy. I mean, to the point where you could see it. I've got some video of it that I'm sure you've seen by now. I put a guide code on here, and the majority of this panel was nothing but low spots. So put a code on here and got most of it. Still had a couple little spots that were low. Just put another little small coat on that, getting ready to sand that back down again when that dries out. And then we've got the new trunk installed. That's all prepped and ready to go. Got the new door. That's all prepped and ready to go. Had to take the chip guard off the bottom here because it needs to be redone to match the paint. And then I've got a little bit of spot putty just for the little stuff that this is all going to be sanded down. But other than that, we're doing pretty good. Now we've got this stuff that I found that actually, let me see if I can get it. There it is. That actually it looks really good and it works. It's Rust-Oleum. This is the kind of finish that you get out of it. And I'll put a picture in right here to show you like a comparison of the original on the door of what it looked like, so you can actually achieve this kind of textured finish. And it might not be perfect, but it's going to work for what we need it for. Also got some exciting stuff in that little box right there. So hopefully that's going to get installed here soon. Going to make this thing black and low and wide and looking pretty good. So stay tuned. Don't you hate it when you go grinding on a small rust spot and then the rust spot gets bigger and bigger and bigger? And that's the infamous silver rot on the Miata. We're going to take care of it. Get it working again. It was just a little bit of bubble here and here, but now it's a nice little hole. It's a lot of rust and dust that came out of that thing. But we'll get her better. That's the name of the game. Keep working. Keep going. Even when life throws you a curveball, you just keep going. On a side note, Hunter decided to refurbish this little tricycle. He actually repainted the handlebars and everything. Came out pretty good. It's got the seat all cleaned up, and this is actually a little trike that has been in his fiance's family for something, 30 odd years or something like that. So it's pretty cool that he's taking care of it and got the seat all cleaned and got new paint on the back of it and everything, kind of just touching it up. His soon-to-be niece loves to ride this thing around, so I think it's pretty cool that he's redoing it and making it all nice. Cool things. Why can't all cars be this simple? Just took out all 4 of the front marker lights and signal lights out of the front of this Miata. Grand total of 8 screws. Just unscrew it, quarter turn on the bulb, everything's out. Nice and simple. Why isn't everything like that? I mean, I think they over-engineer new cars. Make them way too complicated. They need to go back to simpler times. This car was built in 1996, and I gotta tell you, they were doing a lot of things right back then. Alright, here's an update for you. We finally got some base coat on this. I've got to still spray the door because it's red from the old car. Same with the trunk. Overall, it's not bad. Tried to get rid of some of the orange peel, and it looks a lot worse than I was expecting, and if I clear over this, it'll just look like this, only glossy. So we went out and got some more paint, and it's gonna be time to paint soon. I got some more paint, and I'm hopefully gonna clear over this and not get as much orange peel on here, because there's some areas on the car here that don't look that bad. Like right here, I mean, there's some orange peel, but not bad at all. So if I could just get it all to look like that, that would be pretty cool. This back fender is another one that's like, I mean, there's orange peel, but not, I mean, as much as stock paint. So I went out and bought another quart. I got 2 more quarts of black that I'm going to spray over there, because as I was wet sanding, I was also cutting through a little bit of the base and seeing the primer. So I got little white dots everywhere, which is just, I guess, where it was thin. So I can't have that either. So I'm going to have to do that and then clear it today. Got a couple little more white dots here. And then, of course, when I was taping up my door and getting ready for that, the chair that I was on did that, which is just peachy. So we've got everything all taped up, ready to go. So I'm going to end up spraying 2 more coats. I got to clean the whole thing because it's real dusty in here. Got to put down some water on the floor. Hopefully get another 2 quarts on this. Hopefully it won't turn out bad. It'll look good, and then we can clear it. And hopefully today we will be putting some clear on, because I am very sick and tired of working on this thing, and I am ready for it to be done. Well, I think I finally figured out the secret to this paint shop paint. You have to turn the volume down. Man, there's so much stuff. There's like so much stuff in the air that's blowing on my paint. This is ridiculous. I think somebody outside is burning something, and it's like ashes getting onto my paint. So I gotta wipe all this whole thing down now with a freaking tack cloth. But anyways, you can see how uniform it is. It's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm gonna go ahead and clear it, see how that goes. Had a couple issues with things falling in the paint, like here, and it's got a different texture to it. Hopefully it's going to be okay, but overall I'm pretty happy with it. It's definitely a fair bit better than the peel paint that was on it before. It was all ridiculous. It's taken me a while to get to that point, or to this point I should say, but I think it's going to be worth it. So let's start mixing up the clear and see how things go. Wish me luck. Alright, this is the final paint update, at least for now. The paint is really not real glossy, and you know, very orange peely. You can't, I mean, it looks a lot better on film than it does in real life. It looks more like I used like just a regular spray can on it. But this is how it's going to stay for a little while. There was so much trash in the paint that I'm kind of taking a break from it. I'm going to put it all back together, and then sanding it down and getting some of the stuff out of it, and then going from there. But you know, it's passable right now for what it is. What I found out is using this plastic wrap, what happens is when the air blows on it, there's a lot of these little chunks that come off. And here's a good example of it. And it flies through the air almost like ash, and it gets in your paint job. So from what I found out is, if you use plastic wrap, you really need to kind of cover it with newspaper. Hello. You'll need to kind of cover it up with newspaper and let it catch the overspray, because when it flaps around, you'll get all those little chunks. But live and learn. Like I said, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and roll with it right now, get it back together, and then we'll revisit it and do some wet sanding and some more clear coat on it and see how that turns out. Maybe even put a little bit more base down on it. But right now it's livable. Everybody was giving me crap about putting the chip guard on it, the rock guard on this, and then painting over it. But man, it came out really nice. I should have probably rock guarded the entire car, because that's the best part of the entire thing. So anyways, we've got that, and we've got an issue that happened with the headlight. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sand this and then go with a probably a little rising sun motif and see how that turns out. But there's your update, and we will be putting this back together and see how it goes.